What's going on, Alabama fans? Welcome back to the Alabama Football News and Rumors channel here on YouTube, presented by Chat Sports. I'm Ricky Green for Tide Talk Sports, your host here on Tide Talk. And just going to do a really short episode tonight. Just a couple of things that I want to look at, particularly how a dominating victory like the one Alabama had over LSU last night affects recruiting for Alabama and for a team like LSU as well. So we'll take a look at that and talk a little bit about recruiting in tonight's episode of Tide Talk right now. All right, I want to start tonight's episode off as we usually always do with a question for our viewers. Will Alabama's win over LSU wind up helping Alabama's recruiting efforts in the long run? Y for yes, N for no, and then get back in that comment section and let me know why you answered yes or no. Really looking forward to what you have to say and your opinion on whether a big win on national television like Alabama picked up last night can have an immediate effect on recruiting. We're looking particularly at the 2021 class. Not going to keep everybody too very long tonight. Going to take a look at a couple of guys that I personally think a big win over LSU can help in terms of Alabama's recruiting efforts for these two guys. You look at two guys, one committed to LSU and another guy that has long been considered an LSU lock, Maason Smith, and of course we're just starting to hear a little bit about Alabama being involved with Maason Smith. There are some people in the state of Louisiana, that really are starting to talk about LSU fading in his recruitment. In particular, having Bo Pelini at defensive coordinator. So you got to wonder if getting blown out the way they did against Alabama last night has a negative effect with a kid like Maason, or even someone who's committed to LSU right now, a guy like Sage Ryan. Could the way this season went for Ed Orgeron and LSU hurt them recruiting-wise with two of their top, if not the top two, targets that they really had for this 2021 class? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. I think that it has to help Alabama at least. Maason Smith is a guy that we are starting to hear a little more and a little more about the closer we get to early signing day. I think that Alabama is putting themselves in a good position to be in the fight for the five-star defensive tackle. But still, I think Alabama's got some fighting to do, a little ways yet to go before they ultimately are in a place to land a guy like Maason. And then with Sage Ryan, I'm not sure at this point that it helps or hurts either way as far as Sage is concerned. I really don't see him flipping from LSU just to keep it all the way 100 with you guys. And whether LSU has looked terrible or not, I don't expect that to really have an effect on Sage Ryan and whether or not he ultimately sticks with LSU. I think Alabama has, I hear there's still communication, but I think Alabama focuses its efforts now on Terrion Arnold and really looks to be in a good position with Terrion, who in my opinion is the best defensive back in the class of 2021 anyway. So particularly talking about a guy in that safety spot, Terrion Arnold is as good as they come. If Alabama was to be able to secure a commitment from Terrion Arnold, that would definitely make losing out on Sage Ryan sting a lot less when everything is said and done. Look, recruiting is something that is fluid. It changes in the blink of an eye. I'm not going to sit here and tell everybody that everything I say is exactly how it is and that's the only way. I go through my sources. I get the best information that I can find from people and places that I trust, and then I bring it here to you guys for discussion. And I really enjoy the opportunity to do that. If you guys haven't hit that subscription button just yet, before we sign off tonight, I want to ask you to hit that sub button right now for us and help us reach our goal of having 2,000 subscribers here on our YouTube channel. We certainly would appreciate that. And if you're enjoying the content that we're putting out, hit that thumbs up. It forces YouTube's algorithm to recommend our videos more often, and we certainly would appreciate your help with that as well. Wrap things up here really quickly in a nutshell. Alabama blowing out LSU the way that they did at least has to help Alabama some when you're talking about the recruitments of guys like 5-star defensive tackle Maason Smith and a committed prospect like 5-star defensive back Sage Ryan. So get in the comment section of this video. Let me know what you think in particular about both of those guys' recruitment. For those of you that follow recruiting, particularly when it pertains to the Alabama Crimson Tide, really look forward to engaging with some of you guys and getting some feedback. We'll see you next time right here on the Alabama Football News and Rumors channel on YouTube, presented by Chat Sports. I'm Ricky Green. Roll Tide.